eggs were always on the goddamn menu because they're so simple. So today we wanted to see how far we could push cooking with just an egg. One of the things we did was the egg white omelet with the plus yolk treat.
The plus yolk treat, I've never heard of that.
So I was always thinking when you make an omelet, you're kind of stuck with just a regular consistency. But how do you make an omelet that has the runny yolk? So what I do was I took some eggs, 2 eggs, I separated the yolks and the white. To separate the yolk from the white, cool little trick, everyone's probably seen it on the internet by now. You take a water bottle, you squeeze the bottle, you put it by the yolk, and then you unsqueeze the bottle. It sucks it right up. And then I fried up just the white in the pan. And as that started to fry, then I put the egg yolks back into the omelet. And they slip right back in. They are all friends, they're all family. They slip right back in. Then I fold it over like an omelet. So then when you cut in, you get this egg white omelet with the runny yolk inside. It's amazing.
Egg noodles. Even though a lot of noodles are made of egg, they also have flour. This is just pure God mother given egg. Take about 1 or 2 eggs, scramble those babies up. Get your pan on medium heat. You don't want it
medium.
Put a little oil in the pan, and then just coat the bottom of the pan with egg. So swirl it around so you have a nice even layer of egg. You can cover the top of the pan just so it finishes cooking, because if you don't finish the cooking, it's gonna stick. Once you start rolling it, like we're doing right now, roll up your egg. Throw that off on your cutting board and slice it up, and look at that. Once it pulls apart, you got noodles, and you can do thin little spaghetti noodles. You can do linguine, thick style,
egg
whatever you want.
Are good. Toss them in pasta. Again, we're only cooking with eggs, but you could toss them in pasta sauce and have a great time.
Toss that in anything.
Another one, I actually saw this, some guy on Jamie Oliver came in and did this egg omelet thing that blew my mind. I just had to borrow it. All you do is you take 3 eggs, or 2 or 1, whatever you want. I took 3, and you just whisk the crap out of them. The whole egg, just keep whisking. Whisk,
whipping the shit out of that.
Once the egg is whisked a lot and it gets really fluffy, it's all air bubbly and it looks like it's doubled in volume, then you take a pan, non-stick pan, put a little bit of oil in there, and then just pour those eggs in. And what it does is it kind of gets the bottom crispy, but the rest of it stays fluffy. So slowly that cooks. Then you fold it over to one side, and it's okay if it looks a little bit uncooked on the inside because it's so fluffy it'll cook like instantly. Then you take it off. You can garnish it with a little bit of greens if you like, and you get this super fluffy omelet that's unlike any omelet you've ever tasted.
Have you guys ever heard of the deep fried egg?
Neither did we until we tried it today, and it magically was amazing.
It's the deep fried poached egg. It's awesome. Take a little bit of oil. Take a little bit of oil and heat that up. You know, medium heat. We're not going to give you a number, just medium. Crack your egg right in there, but be careful because that thing potentially could burn down the goddamn house. Let that start to poach. You can fold it over. Look at that. Holy
It cooks in
Jesus.
about 30 seconds when like on medium-high heat.
Yeah, we could have taken it out earlier, but you whip it out.
It's an instant
Get this crunchy exterior. You cut into that. If we cooked it a little less, we would have had the runniness, but the oil was hot. That egg was crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Not every day you get something like that.
So this one is probably the craziest out of all the crazy things I've ever experienced with eggs. You separate the eggs from the egg yolks and the egg whites. You take eggs and you separate the yolks and the whites, making sure to get...
I've never heard of anything that
Never,
crazy.
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, baby. Make sure there's no yellow in the white, otherwise you're gonna have a problem.
We ain't found shit in the white.
So what you do is you take those egg whites and you beat them with a whisk. So help me God! Beat them. Just keep whisking them until you get a stiff peak. Didn't expect to get stiff peak so quickly.
That's the line. That's what Josh said.
I didn't expect to get stiff peak so quickly because I thought it would take longer, but I thought I needed like a blender, a hand blender, a big blender. I didn't. I just whisked them for a few minutes, and then basically stiff peak means when you put that in and you pull it out, it stays stiff, like on the whisk, on your thing that goes in. Right? So then what I do,
put that in,
I took some parchment paper, some non-stick paper, set the oven to 350. Okay, so then you take the the non-stick stuff, and then you take the white egg white stuff. You
We're
throw
losing
on,
it.
You throw. I feel like I'm in a goddamn sweat lodge here. And like, am I in a Temescal right now? Is this Temescal? So what you do is you take the egg whites and you put them on the parchment paper, and you just kind of form them into almost like a little bit of a bun. You can do whatever you want. You can get crazy, but in this case, I wanted 2 buns. Bake them at 350 until they're nice and crispy. They come out super fluffy. In this heat, they started to have some shrinkage, because they come out real fluffy.
Deflated.
And then I saved those 2 egg yolks. I took another full egg, started frying that, plopped the egg yolks back on there, so it was like a 3 egg yolk egg. And then I used that inside, so it was like an egg sandwich with an egg bun. It was all eggs that we turned into a sandwich. It was crazy.
If you guys have more ideas to make it even better, what other egg techniques to make that sandwich next level? So you guys have seen the soft-boiled egg. You cook it in water. Well, you don't have to cook it in water. Maybe you haven't. If you get your oven on 300 degrees, around 300 degrees, and you throw some eggs right in there and cook them for about, I would say 10 minutes, but honestly I would do a few because you might screw it up like we screwed it up. It's alright, you'll get it eventually. You take them out of the oven, you peel them real nice, and look, you cut into that thing. Oh, the half-boiled egg, you throw that
It's used a lot in like ramen. Oh my god, it's like this creamy on the inside.
It's just a glorious way to cook an egg.
Okay. Another one that I had never tried before filming, so I kind of fucked it up, but no big deal. Let me show it to you anyway. It's basically steamed eggs. So you beat up some eggs, you keep beating them and beating them, you pour them into some sort of ramekin that you've oiled, well greased, and then you steam it in a pot. In this case, probably wasn't the smartest thing, but what I did was took a ramekin, turned it upside down, and then put the ramekin with the eggs on top of that, but just like about half an inch of water. Just take some penis out and measure about half an inch.
The ramekin was burping at us because there was no air. There was no air escaping, so it kept on.
So then I assumed like the heat was low enough that I could just go and like watch some Amy Schumer and screw around. Did you? Oh my god.
Let's just say, when you've been eating goddamn eggs all day long, weird things start to happen.
Tripping.
You start tripping off eggs. I can't explain it, but right now we are high off egg yolk.
Exactly.
You think it's egg white or egg yolk?
Exactly.
This guy's sweating bullets. We're stuck in this kitchen. It's 95 degrees.
So I went and I watched some Amy Schumer, and I came back, and the damn egg was way overcooked. What you're supposed to do is just lightly steam it, and it comes out as this like sort of custardy, just delicious egg.
Perfect.
But of course I forgot, so it was like all bubbly up. It still tasted good.
No, it wasn't bad.
To it.
It wasn't bad.
It was good. Just try it low, and you get this custardy egg. I swear.
Go for the low and slow technique if you want tenderness. Usually low and slow all the way. The marbled egg. Can't say I invented this, saw this on Munchies, but it's a genius idea for just a play on a fried egg. Take 2 eggs, get the pan screaming hot. It's yelling at you basically. Throw some oil in there, crack 2 eggs in, and pretty much immediately take chopsticks or a fork, break the yolks and just marble them. Design them so it looks all pretty, but you're just gonna let that sit there and cook, because if you flip it, you're gonna ruin the marbling. Let it get really crispy on the bottom. Like, look at this crispiness. Do you see that brownage? So you're gonna get this crispy bottom with a soft top, really cool texture. Take it off, serve that on anything, on a sandwich, whatever you want. Hit it with a little chive, salt and pepper, and you are good to go.
The croissantlet is what I'm calling this thing. Loosely based off of a famous omelet they make in Japan. It's like this egg thing they fold and fold and fold.
Loosely based
but
off
I wanted
this
to make
asshole's inhibitions and dreams.
How could I make an omelet turn into a croissant? So what I did was I took about 6 eggs and I beat the hell out of them, just enough. And then what I did was I took a non-stick pan, butter in there, poured in the egg, let it cook for a little bit, and then fold it over itself. And then you're like, oh, it's an omelet, that's nothing. No, you're not done. So then you pour in some more egg in the open spot. After you put some butter down, you pour in some more egg, you let that cook, you put butter on the other side, flip that over, Then you do the same thing. More butter, more egg, more butter. Flip it over. You keep doing that until you run out of eggs. And you end up with this egg when you cut into it. You've got like 6,000 little layers of egg. And it's just a really fun thing. You could add cheese in the middle.
6,000, maybe 6 layers.
12 layers. You could add cheese if you wanted to, which would be amazing. But we're just cooking with eggs.
Really nice. And you get that buttery flavor just layered throughout. We got the double broiler scrambled eggs. Probably the fluffiest eggs you'll ever taste in your life. It's a slow process.
The slowest eggs you'll ever cook in your life.
It's a slow process, but that's what makes it so tender and delicious. Get your double broiler on. Basically just a pan with a little bit of water. You turn that on. You throw another bowl on top. Scramble 2 eggs. Throw in a little butter into the bowl so that starts melting, and then pour in your eggs. As the steam hits the bottom of the bowl, your eggs are going to cook very slowly, so just keep stirring them around with a spatula, and you'll see, look at that. They're starting to cook. They're starting to scramble just a little bit. Just keep that going. It's going to take about 10 minutes.
Move it along,
until you
buddy.
get to this point. Oh, look at that. Are you kidding me? Look how tender those eggs are. Have them however you want. They can be more runny. They can be like this. Put them off. Hit them with little chives. So tender.
Yeah, it's
delicious.
okay. We throw in a little garnish because we don't want you to get sick of just seeing the color egg for the entire video.
The color egg. I've never heard of that.
The color egg. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is insert the condom on the tip of the penis. Make sure you're wrapped when you're going in for sexual intercourse because we're about to reach stiff peaks, folks, and it's happening faster than I could have ever imagined. Good night. Enjoy these egg tips.